You were wrong. I don't think that happened.
I nailed that.
By next year, most revenue teams will have AI agents running real workflows, right or wrong?
I nailed that. I know number 4 and 5 in particular were some horrendous guesses by me. And a little pop-up comes up and is like, Jake, you didn't mention the competition. How many of you out there are like, oh, thank you, Copilot. If you're going to use AI to generate it and then have a human hit send, why?
AI-powered seller.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the AI-powered seller, episode number 34. Really excited for 2026, but today's episode is all about 2025 predictions. No, you are in the right place. This is still 2026, but today's episode, I'm going to recap last year. And if you listen to the podcast, you follow me on LinkedIn, you know I talked a lot about AI, maybe even saw my AI remix that Riverside just did me dirty on, where it pulled out this clip of me just saying AI like 5,000 different ways. So today's episode, I'm going to break down all the predictions that I made in 2025, the right, the wrong, the somewhere in between, the really wrong, etc. And I'm really excited for today's episode in particular because I have our head of marketing, Kara Bird, joining me to help keep me accountable, call it like she sees it, and make sure that we really cover. I think she's more excited about the wrongs, let's be honest here, right, as a part of it. So Kara, excited to have you join me. And, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll make this a regular thing.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for this one. We have talked about a lot of AI, and I even went through the files and pulled up some quotes. So I'm ready to hold you to
Great.
it.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Love it. That's great. And yeah, as we get into this, I know number 4 and 5 in particular were some horrendous guesses by me. So you'll make sure to want to tune in for those. So, all right. Well, look, there's no point in wasting time. So we've got my 2025 predictions. I think I've already made some of my 2026 predictions. So we'll make sure to link to those as a part of this. So let's kick it off. Let's start with prediction number 1.
All right, let's get into it. What Jake got right or wrong. So like I said, you're going to grade yourself. Basically, was it a hit or a miss?
Okay.
So number 1, reps adopted AI faster than leadership. So I actually went digging and found that in January of 2025, you said, and here I'm paraphrasing a bit, but not by much, AI won't be a leadership-led transformation. Reps will adopt it quietly, daily, and without permission, and leadership will still be debating policy. Right or wrong?
That facts.
It is. You're right.
I think so. What do you think? I mean, you see this, you see a lot of our clients and what they're doing. What are you seeing?
Yeah, no, I think this one is spot on.
Yeah, we're seeing this across our clients, you know, where clients are coming to us and it's, you know, we go and we'll meet with the reps and, you know, we're doing kind of intake with different clients and, okay, what are you guys doing? We're using ChatGPT. Then you ask like the sales leadership or RevOps. Oh, no, we use Gemini. It's like, no, you don't. Like, you think you use Gemini. And some people do. We have a lot of clients that use Gemini, so it's a good tool. But yeah, I think, if anything, I think it even exacerbated it. I think whenever I made this prediction, we had just done this kind of workshop with a client of ours at their kickoff. And, you know, we had all the reps raise their hand. I think it was like a room of like 300 or 400, and probably 90% of the hands went up. And then we talked to the sales. We did a big session with their leadership team, and leadership was like, yeah, maybe I'm using it, etc. So I still think the reps, salespeople were resourceful. If there's a faster way to do BS time, you know, we're going to find it. So I'm glad that one, hopefully this year, you know, my prediction is sales leaders will start to catch up, but still, I think it's going to be rep led for sure.
Totally agree. It's like you can't control whether your team uses AI, they're going to use it, but you can control whether they use it well or not.
That's right.
All right, let's move on. We've got number 2. AI created leverage gaps, not job losses, at least not yet. And I've got a quote from you here. AI won't replace sellers first. It'll replace average output. One rep will start doing the work of 2 or right or wrong.
I think like in between. I think I got that right. I think that, you know, I don't think we're seeing mass layoffs right now. You know, I don't think we're seeing mass layoffs. I think we are seeing, you know, as we go into the new year, sales leaders and marketing leaders with numbers that don't maybe have the same headcount for a growth standpoint. You know, if there's companies trying to go to, you know, a few hundred million, maybe you used to get X number of headcount and now it's like, figure it out. So I think that's right. I don't think we saw this kind of big job loss versus, you know, productivity gains.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, 2 in a row. There we go. There we go. 2 in a row. That's right. You all still have jobs. That's great. I will say, I think 2026, I think you're going to start to see call it like the have and have nots that my prediction for this year is you're going to start to see a divide. You're going to start to see a divide between reps that are consistently using it. They're AI curious. They're doing certifications. They're doing building their own custom GPTs or gems or agents and Copilot. And the other reps that are like, oh man, what's Carolyn doing over there? Why is she doing that? And then Carolyn's crushing quota by 130%, and they're missing numbers. So I think you'll start to see a pretty big divide this year. That would be my prediction.
Yeah, I agree. And you've talked about from a hiring standpoint as well. A tenured rep comes in and does it by the books and does it this way compared to a younger, newer rep who's super efficient in AI. I think we'll start to see it there too.
Yeah, the key though is that you can't just copy and paste AI. Like, I'm just gonna get this is a pro tip, everybody. Do not send me a document that has a line in between every section, that has double spacing between every bullet, okay? And that at the end of whatever bullet is, there's another space, okay? Like, I know that that's AI. Like, make sure you take the time, you put your, 2 cents on it, you make it your own. But at this point, like even though I know it's AI, what I do when I meet with people now is I just test it. I'm like, great, well, over here you talked about this, this, and this. So, what was your thought process here? And so, you got to make sure as you're using it smart.
Moving right along. I like this one. Number
Okay?
3.
I'm not going to look at my notes.
Yeah. Number 3. How slow companies would operationalize AI. I pulled a quote you said last year. By next year, most revenue teams will have AI agents running real workflows, right or wrong?
Oh no, I missed that bad. No, it's I remember back in 2023 or 24, as we started to, kind of start our AI journey of, even myself, mid 23, I guess it would have been, really seeing the future and looking ahead. Back when my good friend KD and I used to talk about this stuff back in 23, 24 and early last year, like what's possible is just amazing. And I think I just assumed that sales leadership and revenue leadership would care about productivity more. And it's not that leadership obviously doesn't not care about productivity. So to be very clear, I'm not sitting here saying they don't, but I do feel like if I go to you, like, I'll give you a practical example here, Kara. Okay. We got a client right now. Here's what the client does today. Their reps finish a call, they finish a demo. They then have to go to the CRM and some of the data pushes. They got to go log their notes. Then they go to Gmail and they write their email. Maybe they copy and paste some stuff from a summary, etc. As opposed to the workflow we're building, which is as soon as the call recording finishes, it immediately rips the transcripts, ports the relevant, we're calling it the hot points. Hot points go straight into a CRM field. I think it's just one field, maybe it's multiple, right? So then if they're going to their next call, they're like, what did I talk to Sandy about? I don't remember. It's like the notes are there. I don't have to go pouring through them. And then automatically drafts a email draft in their Gmail. It's like, you cannot listen to this and say, that obviously seems better and faster. But for some reason, we're still slow. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic, but I don't know. I think we're still
Why?
waiting. Why? Exactly. If I was a rep, I'd go, oh, God, please. I never want to write another follow-up email. Or let's be honest, you don't write the follow-up email, right? As a part of it too.
I couldn't agree more there. Moving on to number 4, and I like this one because you thought copilots would be a big win here. Number 4, how bad most copilots would be, right or wrong?
Okay, I said they were bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I said that they were going to be bad. Oh, that's a huge W. Like nobody, tell me one rep, please. Okay, please, if you are a rep right now, please, 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 please. I want you to DM me one of 2 things. One, if you're a rep that loves, hey, you're on a demo. I'm talking to Kara. I'm like, I'm in the mode. I'm doing my thing. I'm like connecting the dots, talking ROI. I'm all into it. And a little pop-up comes up and it's like, Jake, you didn't mention the competition. How many of you out there are like, oh, thank you, Copilot, buddy. I'm going to now. Oh, by the way, Kara, do you know that we actually have 2 times more integrations than abc.io? No, nobody is going to do that. Now, if you're a rep that loves it, please, I want you to DM me, or if you're watching this on YouTube, drop it in the comments as well, too. Tell me the tool you love. I would love to be proven wrong. I love the idea of having real-time feedback. I love that, right? And I think back in the day, whenever I was growing up in sales, we used to have these things called Y chords. So here's what would happen. you'd have your phone and your manager would like, why, like this thing was like a Y, if this makes sense, if you can visualize it. So like there's one, it plugs into the phone and then it goes to you and it goes to your manager. And like, I remember Amy, what's her name? She was listening here and I'm doing I'm doing the conversation. She hits mute. She goes, Jake, you're talking over them. Like you need to pause, but you need to hit mute before you do this. I'm like, what? And sure enough, I started doing it. So she like corrected me in real time. And it was fine because it wasn't like too much. It was like a subtle it was like a subtle like that as a part of it. Now, the interesting part is that's really tough to do in the video world, right? Like, I don't know, how do you get virtual Amy whenever, Jake's on that? I guess you could just turn off your video for 1 second. Nobody would really know as a part of it. So I feel like these things where they do work, Kara, where we're seeing this with our clients is digital product SE. So Kara asked me a question about, hey, Jake, tell me, is this SOC 2 compliant with a blah, blah, blah integration? And the rep's like, option one is the rep goes, hey, that's a great question. Let me answer it there. Option two is they pull up a copilot and it knows all your product information, et cetera. And it goes, yeah, yeah, actually, hold on 1 second. Let me take a look. Okay, next question. Yeah, actually, we do integrate with Blue Jeans and it does it this way and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, the copilot thing, I would love to hear from you people, from anybody who loves it. I'd also love to hear if anybody feels like I do, that your company either has it or makes you use it. And you're like, this is a complete waste of time, because I am still very much in the waste of time camp.
I feel like there's so much curiosity around using them.
I get the vibe. I mean, like, real-time feedback is a good thing. I just wonder if there's a better way to do it. And I do think maybe it's so tactical too, Kara. It's like, these things don't have a lot of context. And so they're kind of bringing up things based on like keyword or a thing or this. It's not. And my guess is it's probably overcorrecting too. If you think about, if you're a sales rep, maybe I can remember one or two things to improve after a call. But if you give me 55 pieces of feedback, I'm not going to remember any of it. So,
Yeah.
that would be my take on it is, I think there probably is a path forward where these could be helpful. Product, no brainer. Every company should have a digital SE that rides Copilot. And we're trying to figure out a way to build this with one of our clients into the recording software, like into Zoom's AI companion, for example. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. I'll report back to everybody in the next month on if we can do it or not.
Yeah. I mean, when you sit down with a client, are they knowing like, hey, I need a Copilot, or do they
Yeah,
not
I'm sure
really
they
know?
are. Yeah, no. I think what you get is you get leaders that say, how do we get our people to adhere to our best practices more? And it, like I said, on paper, it doesn't seem like a stupid idea. On paper, it's like, oh yeah, like that would be helpful, but it's the execution of it. So yeah, I think you're seeing it, or you're seeing a lot of it post-call, right? Post-call grading, scoring, that type of stuff. But yeah, definitely more and more people I think are curious about it. But again, like, are your reps going to use it? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
Right. All right. On to number 5. We've got personalization became table stakes. Early 2025, you said generic outbound won't just stop working, it'll damage trust. And you also declared, very, very boldly, I will say, that battle cards were
Fair.
basically dead. Still standing
Yeah,
by
there we
that.
go. I am standing by. Look, maybe I should have said like static battle cards are dead if I want to walk back it a little bit. I think that was right. I think outbound in particular, I don't see the trend in outbound going up right now. I don't see the trend. And I'll tell you the other thing, Kara, that's maybe another leading indicator. I also don't see more companies focusing the way they manage outbound, both for AEs and SDRs, to outcomes versus activities still. I still see most people, activity is king. And it's like more and more. And by the way, there is a certain level of output that a human being should be doing in a workday. I want to be very clear. I'm not, saying, oh, John should just be able to do 5 assassin type emails and he can book meetings. I mean, if he can, sure, great, go for it. But, so I feel like that was probably right. And I think it's just getting worse. I feel like if you're not doing personalization now and, remember what Tanner's doing, like personalized white papers and things that were cutting through the noise and booking meetings. And it took, 10 minutes to generate one and 10, 15 to fix it, but it worked. So yeah, I think that's right. I think outbound's just going to get harder.
The fact you can now generate an entire ROI presentation, but people are still doing your general emails that take 3 seconds to do. It's not going to cut
That's
it.
right. And also just think about the mindset. Why are you, again, going back to like, we talked about operationalizing it before. Why would you pay a human to hit send all? Why? If you're going to use AI to generate it and then have a human hit send, why? Why?
Yeah.
And so that's for all my people doing outbound. That's account executives, strategic account executives, enterprise account executives, SDRs. You have to learn how to turn your brain on. Kind of like how I gave you that cheat code on like don't copy and paste, fix the formatting, etc. You're going to have to do that. So okay. Look, and I think that that's another reason why, we created Journey too. So if you guys haven't checked out, it's meetjourney.ai. And, Meet Journey is your suite. We've got a digital SE. We just kind of custom built in for a client, like I mentioned before. People and reps don't have time to build custom GPTs, and they don't have time to go and build agents or learn prompting best practices. And that's why I think Journey is saving companies so much time is, they don't have time to go and teach everyone how to prompt, teach everyone how to go and build these things. I can just go, I can create different accounts. I can have each assistant, focused on that account for me. I can go and do the research for me. Coming up, it's going to be integrated with Salesforce, so it can write the notes back. And so for any company that's looking for, like, how do I move from, yeah, this is interesting to crawl walk in a month versus 9 months, I think Journey is like or if not the only way to do that, right now. So make sure everyone go check out Meet Journey. Put a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's pretty badass. But I'm not going to lie. I'm obviously biased, but it works. I use it every day.
I also use it every day. Total game changer.
Yeah, boom. Shout out.
All right, moving on to number 6, and I like this one. I feel like it's come up in conversation a lot recently. How uncomfortable this shift would be for high performers. I think this one really surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I think I don't remember exactly what I said. I'm going to guess I thought high performers would recognize it and that high performers would realize that, oh, yeah, this is a cheat code and it can help me get ahead. Or more seasoned reps would realize, like, hey, I need to do something. I don't know if that's what happened, but did I get it right or wrong?
You were wrong. I don't think that happened.
Come yeah, you're probably right. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, I don't think it happened either. Yeah, I guess if I had to kind of, I think it's really hard to tell somebody, hey, you were wildly successful. And I think that's why, honestly, care why a lot of sales leaders are struggling with adopting this or changing their mindset. Hey, look, I worked at Salesforce and I've got my playbook, and this company hired me because of my Salesforce playbook, and now you want me to do something different? But this has made me successful. Why would I do something different? So, I just think change is hard, and most likely a lot of reps just kind of were maybe still able to be pretty successful because the bar, you're not seeing like that, like it's talking about that divide yet, maybe, where it's really like the have and have not. So, we're definitely seeing some top performers for sure. I was on site with a client last week and it was actually pretty fun, some of the reps, but you could tell some of the other reps were like, maybe I use it, but it's real basic stuff. They're not even thinking about how they can feed it their transcripts and it can come up with trends and write their, even the manual version where it can write the email for me or those types of things. Yeah, come on, top performers. Let's do this. Come on, let's get on. Now's the year, 2026. Let's get on that. Am I gonna now? The key is, am I gonna I'm gonna retract that. I'm gonna retract for 2026. Now that I know what I know, I think it'll be probably about the same. Maybe some more top performers will figure it out, but still, more will not have it figured out.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's all I got. So what? 3 right, 3 wrong. You get a 50%.
That's not bad. 50%. I mean, I feel like in AI predictions land, like that's not terrible, right?
It was a long year. A lot happened.
I feel like that's right. It was like a very short year too, though. I feel like it's like, wait, it's 2026 already?
Yeah.
I do feel like that like came about very quickly. So look, that's awesome. I think, look, hopefully people listening out there, you're taking all of this in, you're kind of reflecting on yourself maybe as well too, and your own usage of AI as a leader or a PE firm or a rep. And Kara, I think you did a great job co-hosting.
Thanks.
I think you got to come back. I think you got to come back. It's good because then, people don't want to just hear me like go on and on and on about stuff.
I'm always down to hop on and hold you accountable.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's probably why you wanted to do it, right? You're like, this is a chance for me to just show Jake how often he is wrong and be like, hey, Jake, remember that 50%? Remember this decision I'm trying to make now in marketing? Like, hey, 50%, Jake,
Yeah.
50%. Well, that was awesome, Kara. I really appreciate you joining. Definitely, I think, yeah, definitely, especially these episodes, the non-interview ones. It's always fun to have someone to bounce ideas off of. And, you are definitely for the work we're doing at Skaled, doing a great job of leading the effort. So thank you for joining. I appreciate episodes.
Yeah, this was great. And we've got a lot of good things going on. So I'm excited to keep things going. And I'm always happy to step in and be a guest or a co
I love
host.
that.
Co host.
Co-host. I think co-host. We'll see. And thank you everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate you joining us. Make sure to, I always tell people, look, you can subscribe, but what I think would be even better is share this with your coworker, share this with your sales leader, share it with in your Slack channel, etc. Maybe there's something in these trends that stood out to you, right or wrong. And, I really just appreciate you taking the time to join us today and listen and hopefully continue to improve as an AI powered seller. That's all I got. Excited for 2026. I hope all of you are excited as well too. And we will see you all on the next one. Take care.
Bye, guys.